If you choose to live a life that is truly built and designed by you, for you, and the people that you care about, you will essentially not be able or not be willing to dedicate hours in the day to controlling every narrative. I can't fix every rumor. I can't address every single thing. I've seen people wash their whole life out by trying to like overly communicate in every scenario, trying to like fix things and clarify and this, that, you know, like I'm here living a real life with people that I really love.
Everybody was waiting for Drake to crash out, waiting for him to spiral, waiting for him to explain himself, waiting for him to immediately respond to every shot, every meme, every narrative. But instead, he disappeared. And now, months later, with IceMan dropping tonight, the anticipation feels bigger than the response ever could have been in the moment. That's the lesson. Not everything has to be addressed immediately. A centered man responds on his time. Modern culture pressures people into instant emotional reactions. The internet wants access to your emotions in real time. They want panic, defensiveness, anger, embarrassment, because emotional reactions create entertainment. And after the Kendrick beef, that's exactly what people wanted from Drake. Immediate damage control. But instead of forcing responses, he stepped away. And here we are. 1 a.m. in Albany has surfaced. If I'm being honest, I initially thought this was AI, but apparently it's real. Drake allegedly addresses Kendrick Lamar, Joe Budden, even LeBron James, not during the storm. After it, that changes the energy completely. Listen, timing changes everything. When you respond emotionally, people control the pace. But when you wait, you regain control of the room. The anticipation builds, the mystery builds. People begin wondering, what's he gonna say? That silence created tension. And tension creates attention. Most people talk too early because silence makes them uncomfortable. But powerful people understand something. Sometimes the strongest move is allowing people to sit with uncertainty. People have been stewing, waiting, and wondering. Another lesson, recovery does not always need an audience. Whether people admit it or not, public losses affect people psychologically, especially men, embarrassment, pride, public perception, pressure, and after a major public battle, most people either self-destruct, over-explain, or force fake confidence. But sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is disappear for a while, regroup privately, heal privately, think privately, then return strategically. That's maturity. That was Drake's play. One of the biggest mindset problems today. People let others control their emotional response clock. The second somebody disrespects them, they feel pressured to react immediately. Why? Because silence now gets mistaken for weakness. But silence is not always weakness. Sometimes silence is emotional discipline. Sometimes silence means I'm not giving you access to my emotions whenever you demand them. That's what people miss. Drake responding months later changes the psychology completely. Now people lean in more carefully. Now the response feels calculated instead of emotional. Drake is back in control. People are waiting for him, speculating his next move. What will he address? Who will he address? Another reason this works, anticipation increases value. The longer people wait, the more emotionally invested they become. That's true in music, business, relationships, even personal growth. Everybody wants immediate closure, but life doesn't always work like that. Sometimes your silence becomes louder than your explanation. And by the time you finally speak, people are paying attention differently. That's what IceMan feels like. Not panic, not damage control, a controlled return. A lot of people ruin situations because they speak from the wound instead of the scar. The wound is emotional, reactive, unstable. But scars create perspective. Sometimes you need distance before you can communicate clearly. Distance helps you separate ego from truth, emotion from strategy, embarrassment from reality. That applies to rap beef, but it also applies to your real life, arguments, breakups, friendships, business fallout. Not every response should happen in the heat of the moment. The real lesson here isn't about Drake, it's about emotional timing. Weak people react instantly because pressure controls them. Centered men pause, process, recover, then move intentionally, and sometimes the delay becomes more powerful than the response itself. Everybody wanted Drake to speak immediately, but now the world is waiting on his words. That's power. A centered man does not let the crowd control his timing. Repeat after me. I am a centered man. I do not chase, I choose. If you made it this far, you're either a centered man or a centered man lover. Either way, we're family now. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.